progress in the sport while proving to others that they are both involved in the community activities and are indeed responsible young people. We would like to convey how refreshing it is to see Council take the initiative and do something tangible for the youth in our community. Yours sincerely, Ken McRae, Bottoms College Forest. So we have some support.
Yep.
We can do something substantial, we can do something positive, we can do something to start a little bit of movement in the direction of innovation. So I cannot support this motion as is, but I can support amendments to move ahead with it this fall.
I think it's a wonderful project. I think it's one of it is one of our priorities in forest. We have a reclamation master plan, and in new business, or council reports, we'll talk about our evening the other night that we held to get feedback on the reclamation master plan and on these very priorities. And all of us are going to do that. So all of us are going to come back here with our laundry list. We've got ours. We've got our laundry list, and we had 10 items that we asked people to rank. And they've done that. We're putting it on SurveyMonkey for a while, and the community groups can respond for the next couple of weeks until whenever we deem this process to be over. It's going to be very difficult to commit dollars in this budget year. We have to think ahead for the next year's budget and for our capital plan, and yes, fight for the BMX track. The other things, the ranking the other night, and we'll see once we get the results of SurveyMonkey. Splash pad was number 1. Number 2 was directional signage for recreation, leisure, and arts facilities. And number 3 was the trails. And I mean, this is not very scientific, let me tell you, because there were only about 30 to 35 surveys that were done. Number 4 was trails. So, or sorry, was BMX. And so we know it's a priority. We know the kids want it. We know the optimists support it and think it's a great idea. But each one of you are going to come back here and have the same list of things, and then we've got to look at what are we going to do for Forest, what are we going to do for Ipperwash, Fort Franks, what are we going to do for our Arcona, Grand Bend, and so on and so forth. And then that's when we will fight for what we would like to see.
You get
Sorry.
yours.
And for
I got my good neighbor award, right?
Anyway, I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. But golly, I mean, we have a budget process we've got to go through. We can't be committing more money this budget year. There's a whole lot of things that need to come into place for this to happen. I think it's wonderful, and I will support it 100%.
Councilor Scott.
If we go back and look at page 91, we just accepted an offer for $66,988.15. I don't know what the budget amount was, but the last time we accepted a lower tender, that money was moved to another project. So it seems to me we probably have some money sitting there from this one that we can use for a BMX park. So I think we have money.
We don't have a plan. We don't have a design. Councilor.
Okay, we're getting to be close to the end of the budget year, but there's still a lot of things that are not done. We didn't pass our budget until late. Okay, so there are still projects that are coming along, and sometimes there are surprises. Sometimes we get surprises that make us really happy, and the thing comes in way under budget. Sometimes we get the other surprises, like we have all kinds of examples of those. But I guess at this stage of the year, new projects, we don't have a plan. I will support it, but I'll support it when we have that plan and those priorities.
Councilor Boston.
I have an idea. I spoke to a former mayor of this grand municipality the other night, and he gave me great advice. He said, you've always got to be shovel ready. I'm not sure he was shoveling, but he said you always have to be shovel ready. So
This is shovel ready.
yeah, so I'm going to
Yeah, I
suggest,
wonder who that was.
I'm going to suggest on this report that there are things we can do in preparation that shouldn't cost us too much in terms of planning, Peggy's got it right in here, requesting direction from council regarding this project, development of the work plan, liability plan, public, they wanna know when we wanna commence. So Councillor Underwood, I'm suggesting let's commence right away on the work plan, the liability, the public consultation, the whole thing. Let's start on it right now. That we can do, doesn't cost us anything.
Councillor Underwood.
Children hope.
I think that's fantastic as well, but the thing is, I actually have kids who are willing to be involved in what we're talking about. Quite honestly, let's get right down to the nuts and bolts here. Is a sign and a few, to start off, a few piles of earth, which we will be having to move around anyway, placed in certain areas, and let the kids get on with it. And then as we can get going, we can let them get going this fall, and then we build it as we come along. It shouldn't take that much money. I don't see why the holdup of something which is basically there.
Deputy Mayor Day.
Yes, Martin, I appreciate the extract from the regional, other recreational leisure master plan that encourages us to look for a partner who will help us with fundraising and maintenance and construction. And I appreciate the support of the Optimist Club, but I don't think I heard in there that they were going to actually provide support for fundraising, maintenance and construction. I could be wrong. Did they actually say that they would?
Well, what they said was they think it's refreshing that council, that is to see council take the initiative and do something tangible for the youth in our community. That is that's the quote. Well, what I'm saying is, let's do something, let's lead for change.
I'm biting my tongue because we have taken so many initiatives in this municipality to develop so many things in parks and recreation, arenas and all of that stuff over the number of years that there has been initiative taken. This is one section that is been identified as a need, and I think it's in the works and it can be done. I don't know that it can be done in the next 2 weeks. It rained so hard tonight that if you put dirt out there, nobody's going to do anything on it anyway. Councillor Underwood. Councillor Gilmer.
Oh,
All right.
okay. There's also the liability and risk management plans that we need to have in place, and maybe that's the start. That can get started, is something that staff can work on while we look at this for the budget.
Deputy Mayor Day.
Yeah, just to follow up from that thought too, we have to be careful, I think, that we don't show that we've taken on too much responsibility or too much of the initiative if we indeed want to have other service groups help us out with maintenance and fundraising and costs, because they would be a wonderful asset to us if they get on board and take the leadership, and then we are a supporting factor to that. But if we've gone too far ahead, then they're going to say, it's your baby, you take care of it.
At the very bottom of the report, it says staff is requesting direction regarding project development of work plan, liability ban, public consultation, user group engagement process, and timeframes for commitment. That would have been the recommendation if we could have put recommendations in our reports, but we couldn't put recommendations in our report. Councillor Ullman, Councillor Underwood,
There's the recommendation, right?
Call me a radical, but I tend to try and get my information from more than just one source.
Okay.
We have the source from one source, which is the report, and it's a very nice report, fantastic, but it's not the only source out there. And sometimes you have to take, my goodness, what you're saying is that we will take no responsibility for anything unless we get another group out there to
No, I'm saying we
pony
partner.
up.
We partner.
It's time to start doing something.
Could I bring this, Councillor, let's see if we can get some shape on this.
Yeah.
Let's give the staff timelines. That's really what we want to do here. So if it's within 2 weeks, Councillor McGuire did it with the Dune thing. I think if you're willing to take the lead on this and work with staff, then let's get the timelines on it. You're the lead guy, just as he was with the Dune grass, and let's move on this thing.
I would withdraw the motion and make another one.
That's agreeable with the seconder?
And.
Who's the second? Oh, I was the second. I would agree with you on anything at this stage.
Okay. Who said, there's the motion, it's the last sentence in the report, that we give staff the direction to develop a work plan, liability plan, blah, 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 and timeframes for commencement.
And add Councillor Underwood